Guys, my name is Mojalefa MJ Mukhakhabi. I am a guy from Soweto. I'm an entrepreneur, creative entrepreneur. I work predominantly in the arts with quite a lot of musicians and artists and a lot of people. Like today, I've got one of them who I work with and honored to be working with on a project. What's your name, my man?
Hey, my name is Simphiwe Sekhute. I'm a producer, composer, arranger, orchestrator, and I'm also a founder of an organization called Blisstown Media, which is currently running a campaign called Finding Your Groove.
Oh, lovely. So speaking of finding your groove, this is the branding you can see here. It's all finding your groove. But firstly, what's finding your groove?
Well, Finding Your Groove is basically a vision that came to me a few years back after many years of working with musicians, just studying their lives, their struggles, in business and just at home in general. And I realized that there is some few mental conditions that we could be going through, but I wasn't sure about that. But then I started looking at my life, everything that has happened, and then I realized that I needed to go and see the doctor.
Oh, yes.
So I went in Parktown Clinic and I got diagnosed with ADHD and bipolar. When I explained my ordeal and how my life was going, in terms of me having a lot of projects that I want to do but never getting them done, it posed a bit of a problem to me. And my doctor told me, no, it's because you have these conditions. So Finding Your Groove is an initiative. Then I started to say, maybe let's get people from all different professions, especially doctors, from education, to come and talk about this thing. Not only just to create awareness, but to also find solutions, to help, the lives of musicians out there.
Now tell me something. When you say finding your groove, what led to the term or the phrase or the word finding your groove?
Yes, Finding Your Groove, I realized that a lot of artists are having problems with coping with day-to-day life in a conventional way. They're expected to do certain things at certain times, and they literally fail because they have a creative brain. A creative brain sometimes wanders off and does things at their own time, in their own way. Now, I thought instead of trying to get these guys to try and be conventional thinkers, how about we preach the message that they don't have to change.
Oh, yes.
They can be who they are as long as they find out what they're about and be about that, not just try to be like other people. So Finding Your Groove just means you don't look at other people and how they do their lives. Find out how your brain works, how your talent works, how your body works, and then groove with that.
Okay. So it's basically finding your groove. It's more finding your strength in your weaknesses.
Exactly.
Okay. So now tell me, I hear that you said you went to the doctor and you were diagnosed with ADD and bipolar.
Yeah.
What was your reaction when you first heard?
Yeah, my reaction was kind of like an aha moment.
Oh.
Because what psychologists do. They take you down your childhood lane and then you get to trace where this thing started. Because I realized that at school there was a time where I just couldn't focus on the teacher. I was intelligent, I was an A student, and there came a time where I would just look at the teacher and listen, and I wouldn't hear it because my mind would wander off, And when I had to write on the board, my mind couldn't wait for my hand, if you know what I mean. So
okay.
I would be
faster.
reading. Yeah, my mind was faster, it couldn't wait. So I would be reading, and the pen is slow, and then maybe by the time my mind is at the end of the sentence, the pen will actually write that word at the end of the sentence. It's not going to go in sequence. So, and then I realized many things. As I grew up in business, I'd have a lot of ideas that I think about, a lot of ideas that I talk about with my friends and even plans. Some of them I even start, but along the line I would lose my focus and start thinking of other things. And so as the doctor was taking me through that, I then realized that no man, I've always had this condition. It's just that a lot of people think that ADHD is only for little kids, that are hyperactive and running around. But I also realize it grows with you. You're not going to run around at this time, but your mind is running around. It's going there and there. But when I heard the message that I'm bipolar, it was an aha moment, but at the same time, it was very scary.
I can imagine.
Oh, yeah, it was super scary because, first of all, you are being told that you are mad. Number two, they tell you that it's genetic and it's chronic. So it means that there probably won't be any solutions that you can do for yourself. Now I had to think about that. I had to be on meds. I've always hated medication, but I took it, and it was the best decision of my life.
By saying you had to be on meds, you mean literally medication from a pharmacist or prescription medication from a doctor?
Yeah, it was a prescription medication from a doctor's note to go get at the pharmacy.
Okay.
Some, of course, you'd get from the doctor. They put me on Adderall and lithium, yeah, and I had to take it from there.
So since you found out, how long is it? When was the first time you found out, and how long has it been that you are on your meds? You've been on your meds, and what's the difference from when you were not on your meds and when you are now on your meds?
Okay, yeah. Well, I got diagnosed in 2010. That was my first diagnosis. As I told you, I don't really believe in meds as such, but tell you what, these medications work. Have you ever heard that most people that have mental illnesses never finish their course of medication? You know why?
Yeah.
It's because it really works. They take it for a few weeks and they see them, they think they're okay. So basically with the lithium, I used to be anxious quite a lot. And I never used to be able to sleep properly. I took some lithium, anxiety out the window. I could sleep well at night, and then during the day, I was well awake and energized. Then with Adderall, it's good because it's like wearing glasses. You can't focus, and all of a sudden you take one pill. Within a few minutes, it's coming. You can focus on everything, and you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then because I got ADHD, I would sometimes forget to even take the med.
Oh no!
You see, now that's why I think the message that I'm trying to preach, MJ, is that it goes beyond medication.
Oh yes.
It goes with therapy. You have to learn to live without it. That's what I advocate for, because at the end of the day, medication is a drug. You don't want to operate your life because you are drugged. You know what I mean? You have to learn to live with yourself, learn things that you need to do just to get by as a person with ADHD. And one of them really is to have a good support structure.
Yeah.
And this starts with, if you're a young child, it starts with your parent, goes to your siblings and even your friends. In business, of course, you can't be a one-man show. You need to, delegate, hire some people who will support you, people who will do the things that you can't do on your own. And that's a winning strategy. Another one is really, because one other trait of an ADHD person is that you are forgetful. You forget to do things that you're supposed to do. So you want to put them around you. So as you walk around the house, you walk around the office, you actually can see it. And that would serve as a reminder. Do you know what I mean? And amongst many things that you can do, of course, the first thing that you need to do is to realize that you have this condition, because it helps condition your mind that, number one, because a lot of people think that they are useless because they never get anything done. A lot of people think, oh, but Mina, I can never be successful because I keep forgetting this and this. And as Finding Your Groove, we are here to say, number one, you're not alone. All of us artists are going through these things. And the point of this seminar is to bring all of you guys, all of musicians, to come and say, look, I've realized that I also have some psychiatric problems, and this is how I've been able to deal with them. And if we have all these views, put them in one pot, and one may work for the other, the other may work for another person. So that's the point of this. It's more than just a seminar. We're hoping it goes on and on. We're to build a tribe.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Let's get to they say you don't get to an elephant with one shot.
Okay.
Take it chunk by chunk. So, as we were saying, so Finding Your Groove is this campaign that speaks and addresses mental illnesses, and not necessarily mental illness, but mental conditions that mental conditions among musicians and artists and creatives. So you are an artist too, who's been diagnosed with such as well, with ADD, with bipolar. How are you coping with what you've been diagnosed with, on the understanding that you're also taking your medication and all of that? How do you cope with that in your workspace after now you've been diagnosed and you're now on your medication? Are you able to complete the tasks? Are you able to see through a project, or are you still going through the same thing even if you're on your meds?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting but very complicated question, because I'm still trying to find out myself. But what I can tell you, medication is not the end at all.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? As I was saying that, yes, when I took the lithium, the anxiety would be out the window. You know, I would sleep better at night, be energized the next morning. When I take the Adderall, you know, it's like taking a pair of glasses and putting them on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I couldn't focus, and then all of a sudden, after a few minutes, I can focus. But again, because it's a lifestyle thing and it works with habits and, you know, what can I say? Like, yeah, putting tasks together so that you'll be interested in doing them.
Okay.
I guess ADHD people basically are only they only work best with the things that they're interested in, things that they love very much. So apparently, they say that we have a deficit of dopamine.
Okay.
Dopamine is a stimulating chemical in your body. It stimulates you so that you're able to do mundane tasks as well. So we have a lack of dopamine. So things like art is a stimulant itself. You know, so we can get up and work all night and do art all night. But when it comes to mundane things, mainly because, you know, it's things that you're not interested in, things that you don't like
making your bed,
like making your bed. So yeah, once you've already had a habit that you don't have to do these things, because even when you take medication, sometimes you just let them go, you know. But the good thing is that if you really do want to, you can get by. So that's why I'm saying, yes, after you've taken the meds, but you have to put yourself through some kind of therapy so that you'll be able to now start learning new habits and new ways of doing things, you know, like putting on reminders on your phone, you know what I mean, putting things just on your side so that you see and you are able to be reminded about them. Once you're reminded about them, you have enough dopamine in your system, then you can do those things without losing focus.
So Simphiwe, it was nice having you. Beautiful scenery of Soweto, Vilagazi Street, and at the Hector Peterson Memorial, behind Uncle Tom's Hall, where you did your rehearsals as a team Lela and Finding Your Groove.
Yeah.
In closing, what are your final words?
Finding Your Groove is a seminar. It's a conference that is made especially for artists. You guys can come around. There will be doctors, there will be great people, and you guys can sort out the problems that you know we all have as artists. You know, we're the ones that are exploited. We're the ones that are quote unquote on the poor line of our economy. We're the ones that are addicts. We're the ones that are having broken homes, divorces, so many things. And recently, we're the ones that are killing themselves. And this is out of that concern. So we're saying we're asking all artists to come on the 5th of October in Soweto TV. Soweto Theatre. You guys can come on the 5th of October in Soweto Theatre. Tickets are found on the Soweto Theatre website for free. You can RSVP and yeah.
Thanks, it was nice having you, my man. So for those of you who did not catch it quite well, it's 5th October the 5th, Soweto Theatre from 12 p.m. That's the Finding Your Groove seminar with speakers including Pume Mabuza, the CEO of Downtown Music, Shane Maja from Gauteng Department of Arts and Culture, who's the Director of Cultural Affairs there. We've got Dr. Kitumezi, who's the clinical psychologist and sports psychologist. We have got Joe Nina, a South African legendary musician, as a panelist there. And by the way, it's free, mahala. Just RSVP on 084-472-8581, or you can send an email to mjwamofrika number 5 @gmail.com. So it's mjwamofrika5 @gmail.com. My name is MJ. Banagokasi, City Papai.